Welcome back on this channel. In this video, we're gonna talk about fake it till you make it. Should you fake it till you make it? Should you act as if, should you pretend to be something that you currently are not in order to accelerate your success? Or is it something that you should avoid or not do? And this is actually a conversation that I had yesterday with one of my clients. And it's a topic that has a little bit of controversy because you're gonna hear a lot of people preaching about fake it till you make it. You just pretend, right? And a lot of other people will tell you, no, don't do it. That's the most stupid things you can do. So my client was basically, well, which one is it? Should I do it or not? Because you're telling me that it's a good thing, but I want to get your opinion a little bit and understand what do you really mean by fake it till you make it? Because here's the thing. If I fake and pretend that I am a heart surgeon, should I just go then and make heart surgery when I have not a single freaking idea of how to do it? Because that would be insane, right? And of course, that would be an insane thing to do. So it's about having common sense, right? You don't want to start to pretend that you are a doctor and qualified to do crazy stuff that you're not. But the concept of fake it till you make it can dramatically change your life if you understand why it works and the impression that it leaves on your subconscious mind and how it can actually bridge where you are to where you want to be in fast, amazing time. So faking it till you make it, acting as if pretending to be the person you want to be already is a bridge, a quantum bridge that can really accelerate your success. And there are a tremendous amount of examples all around us. For example, the famous movie Catch Me If You Can with Leonardo DiCaprio that came out I think like 20 years ago, that is based on a real story. And you can see him being a con artist and being a flight pilot and then working at the university and being a doctor and doing so many different jobs, even though he had zero formal education. But he was simply pretending to be that person. And he pulled it off. And this is why con artists like the Tinder swindler or whatever the movie is called, who are pretending to be super successful and living this crazy life, always pull it off. And people get surprised. Why is it that those people who have nothing and they just pretend cannot convince others of their scheme? It's because of their identity. You see, they are like actors, and we all are like actors and scripters and creators and directors of our own life. So right now, your personality, your identity right now, you are acting it out. It's a script that you've written and that you have practiced very, very much, many, many times. And it's very habitual, and it's what you know to be you, right? It's the suit that fits you the best. But that doesn't mean that this is the only suit that fits you. You could choose a different outfit, a different life, a different way by simply moving into that outfit now. And so that's the power of faking it till you make it. Because here's the thing, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So even though consciously you can say that this is where I am in my life, this is my current level of finance, of success, my job, my relationship, this is how things are in my 3D right now. Logically, you can look at all of this. But your subconscious mind works very differently. If you start to pretend right now that you are somebody else and you really, really pretend, your subconscious mind will work it out. And we have tremendous amount of research and studies and peer-reviewed studies on the placebo effect and group studies and social studies that shows the power of pretending, acting as if, and faking it till you're making it. It's simply the power of your own imagination. So how does faking it till you make it works for you in your life, for example? Well, let me give you an example of what I did in my life. Before I became a coach, I was a scuba diving instructor. And it was a great lifestyle, and I was very good at it, and I was enjoying it. But I always knew this was never going to be what I want to do, in the long run. But you see the transition of first becoming a scuba diving instructor, right? I remember before I was actually a scuba diver instructor, I was very anxious about the responsibility of teaching people, guiding them on the water and doing all those things that you need to do and make sure everybody comes back, alive on the surface. I didn't have that identity yet, but I remember the first job I got as a scuba diving instructor, I remember embodying, being confident, being that scuba diving instructor that is going to make people love diving. And that's what I did. So I created that mindset and I just enjoyed the process, and it became very, very simple because who I was, I stepped in the diving suit identity, so to speak. And then when I transitioned to coaching, the scuba diving instructor was no longer relevant. So I had to leave that suit behind. I had to leave that identity behind, and I had to morph into a business owner, a coach, a teacher, a trainer, and doing all those aspects of the business. So I had to see myself as being able to market myself, sell myself, believe in my product, in my idea, in my coaching, my ability to help, teach, train others. And all of that was not part of my identity at all. And for the longest time, when I started becoming a coach, I was struggling because I felt like an imposter, because I felt fake, because I felt, and you use the word fake. I felt fake because you see, who I was being was no longer the scuba diving instructor, but I wasn't the coach yet. I was just something in between trying to bridge the gap. And I didn't know the power of the self-image yet. But when I started to learn that concept of changing your identity, stepping into being a successful coach, stepping into being a successful salesperson, marketing, and all those kind of things that needed to run a business, things started to happen. I started to show up with more confidence. I believe in myself that I can help others, that I can provide massive value. So my whole energy changed. But the challenge is that as you transition, you don't have the experience yet. Maybe you're lacking the clients, maybe you're lacking the confirmation, maybe you have nothing but the idea. And so the mind is trying to well, I want this, but my current results are not there yet. Yeah, maybe you want to be successful financially, but your current reality is not. Maybe you want to have that promotion or that business of yours or that relationship, but your current situation is not. So this is where faking it till you make it, acting as if, is going to bridge the gap super fast. Because as you embody the beliefs, the identity, the confidence, the self-image, the self-worth, the self-talk of that person, in some cases you can even physically change what you wear. Because obviously when I was a scuba diving instructor, I used to wear very different clothes than when I was transitioning into coaching. And that was part of me moving into that new identity. So sometimes it can be even like a haircut, it can be clothes, it can be what you're wearing, it can be the way you talk. So it can be also a physical shift in your body and not just a belief or inner world shift. But you see, as you are acting as if that new person and taking those new actions and seeking that new knowledge and really being that person now, what you're actually telling your subconscious mind is, this is who I am. And if you do that with repetition, your subconscious mind is just going to soak that right in, and it's going to become a habit. It's going to become natural. Meaning that just like the suit that you're wearing today, the identity suit that you're wearing today, is going to feel so normal. And when you think of the past, when I think about me being the scuba diving instructor with that mindset and everything, it just feels like another person. It feels like it's not really me. Like, how was I ever like that kind of thing? So it's a weirdest thing because you don't think about this is me anymore, right? Because that new level of consciousness never had those old beliefs. So this is the power of faking it till you make it. Of course, you want to have common sense. You don't want to go do open heart surgery when you have no skills and no business in doing that. But this is more about the mindset, about being the person who will acquire the skills. And if you look at successful fighters, whether it's Conor McGregor or Khabib or other superstars that are athletes and so on, they will all tell you the same thing. When they were young, they already had the success and champion mentality. And they were not champions by any means, but they had this image of themselves that they were going to beat whoever is standing in front of them to reach that belt. And in one of the interview of Khabib, one of the question was like, when you started and you were new in MMA and you were new in UFC, were you like scared of others? Were you like, hesitant? How was your, self-image? How was your identity back then? And he said, no, I always knew I'm going to beat everybody who stands in my way. I always knew I was the best. I always knew I got what it takes. So you can see through their language and through their convictions, there was zero doubt even before they started. And that's the power of faking it till you make it. Because if you are letting your mind be soaked by doubt, by the old personality, by the old identity, you are not helping yourself go where you want to be. Because your decisions, your fears, your limitations are going to keep you where you are. Because remember this, we have a deep need to remain consistent with the way we see ourselves. And so if you see yourself still rooted in that old identity, that you're not successful, struggling with money, whatever it might be, you're going to perpetuate that situation. So the question for you is this: who do you need to become? And how can you be that person today? How can you fake being that person today? Is there something you can do? Is there something you can wear? Is there some kind of thoughts or mental practice or behavior that you can embody today? Is there a certain form of decisions you can make today as if you were already that person? And if you do that, you'll be surprised by how fast you actually become that person, and the result will follow and find you. So this is my take on why you should fake it till you make it and how powerful it can be in your life, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comment if you have any questions. As always, thank you for watching this channel. Thank you for helping me grow. Like, share, and please subscribe. I will see you next time. Be well.